Manisha. And what do you have to say about the initiative of this government in popularizing yoga, in bringing this to everyone's home? At least we're having a conversation about yoga, how important it is for, like I keep saying, not just for the body, but also for the mind.
Perfect. Yes, I think it has been monumental in getting everybody together on one day to celebrate the spirit of wellness.
True.
Right? So everybody used to do it in silos. Yes. Every country has some yoga teachers, some yoga groups. But now it's beautiful to see everybody coming together on one specific day. And actually it doesn't even start with one day. Right. It starts much before that because the preparation is such. And it continues for a little while.
The buzz is important. I think.
Yes,
the buzz around it is very, very important.
Definitely. And also it's awareness.
Yes.
A lot of people don't even know what exists till you don't see it. So right now everybody knows yoga exists. We have given the world this gift.
Yes, absolutely.
And now everybody knows that this has come where the roots are.
Yes.
And now everybody is curious. When you have curiosity, you want to try it.
Right.
So I think it's gorgeous how everybody's coming together in the spirit of wellness.
The reason why I'll tell you, because a lot of people believe, and this is what I've heard from a lot of people, I'm not flexible. How can I do yoga? Because of the very difficult asanas that a lot of yoga gurus do, I think the myth is that this isn't something that I can do because I'm not flexible. I think that myth needs to be broken, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, I think I see a lot of people start yoga when they have an illness or an injury. So definitely when you're injured or ill, you are not flexible.
Yes.
And for my own experience, my first yoga student used to be a 60-year-old who had nerve problems and who could not sit.
Okay.
So, but then slowly and steadily she went for walks. She could sit on the floor, and that was her breakthrough moment, because she's like, I am your ambassador from now onwards. So saying that yoga is for the flexible, it obviously is not true.
Yes.
And what I've seen is that usually people come to yoga as a last resort for now. Even for me in my teens, I started it because the doctor said you have a degenerative knee, you can't do any sport, you can't run, and I didn't want that life. So that's when I started doing yoga. But yoga makes you flexible. Yes. So for instance, like a lot of times you see that people go all the way down in a forward fold. That's what yoga teachers do because they used to. But even if you're here, it's perfect.
Right.
And so if you try it yourself, just the legs are straight, the thighs are pushing down, and you're here. If this is maximum, that's great. If you want to slowly walk your fingers forward,
and try it out.
One tiny bit, so you reach your ankles. But you will see slow and steady, you will be able to reach the ankles.
It can be incremental.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be the perfect posture.
It doesn't have to be.
You can just start small, is what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Very important. Okay, we have pictures of Union Minister Kiren Rijiju now, in fact, who's doing yoga. All the mantris popularizing yoga, sending out the message of how important it is in our daily lives. These are pictures on your screen. Remember, all over the country today, yoga is being practiced to commemorate International Yoga Day. A little about breathing exercises, a little about meditation. Since stress, Manisha, is so synonymous with our lifestyles now, all the more important to practice mindfulness.
Yes, true. Breath work for me, breath is life.
Yes.
Right? So we are geared to breathe from our chest because when we're stressed, your breathing is just here. And it's almost like a palpitation. So there is a difference in deep breaths and getting short breaths. Short breaths is when you're angry. So when you're angry, you will suddenly feel like your breath is just here and it's really fast. When you're scared. So these are all stress responses. Now, if you switch in any time of the day, you're breathing from the diaphragm or from your belly, you can change your entire response of the body. Your hormones, your entire fight and flight system, your parasympathetic system, everything will change just by doing the breath. And I say that because right now we get stressed with things like there is an email or there is somebody going to say something to us which hasn't happened or something we did in the past.
They don't exist?
Yeah, so the problems that we make in our head are what it really stresses us. So the best way to get rid of this fight and flight kind of a moment is you place one hand on your chest and place one hand on the belly. And from here, just breathe. Take a long, deep breath, like filling the belly, filling the chest, and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Instantly, you will feel your body calm down, your mind calm down. And all the solutions usually happen when your mind is calm. So when you're doing 100 things, when you have different scenarios going on in your head, you usually don't get the result that you want. Another best way, I think, which is basically as basic as sighing, is also a breath work. Okay. So you breathe in through the nose, and as you'll exhale, you just sigh it out. It's the body's natural response to let go of stress. So inhale through the nose. And you will suddenly feel very, very grounded. And of course, pranayam is beautiful because it heals the body. Yoga does not just work on the muscles, it works on your internal organs.
We'll talk about that, Manisha, in just a moment from now. I'll come back to you. In fact, Mir Farid, my colleague, is getting asked more details on that story from Srinagar. And Srinagar is where the Prime Minister is today. Mir, in fact, anytime now the Prime Minister would be performing yoga. Just give us a sense of what do you really see around you? What is the kind of a mood? Of course, I understand because of the presence of the Prime Minister. You were telling us about the very tight security arrangements in place in your city today, Mir.
Okay.
Yes, Mir. All right, Mir, if you can hear me, I was asking you about the kind of security arrangements that you see in place today in your city. Also, tell us a little about the mood there this time around on the 10th year of International Yoga Day. Essentially, the Prime Minister has chosen Srinagar city, Dal Lake, as the venue where he is going to be doing yoga. Mir.
Well, yes, just to give you a semblance of what's happening around me, I am very close to the historic Ghantaghar, which is in the heart of Lal Chowk, the commercial hub. Behind me, as you could be seeing, place is deserted because there was a yoga function that was scheduled here, but because of heavy rain, that has been cancelled. As far as what's happening at SKICC, where the Prime Minister will be part of a yoga session sometime from now, but it seems that also has been slightly delayed because rain is heavier on the Dal Lake side. But in some moments from now, that is going to start. Now we'll have to wait and watch whether it will continue to be something that will be out in the open, or they may go into a sheltered place. So that's something that may happen. But just to give you a semblance, I'll ask Tariq to show you. This is the Ghantaghar, and security obviously is a priority. Stringent security measures that have been taken by the authorities, and 5-kilometer radius of the venue is absolutely sealed. But going back to what's happening, yoga coming to Kashmir in a big way. The concepts are not clear here. People do not know a lot about yoga, but it seems that once this function happens, people will start to know what exactly yoga is, and if they practice it, how it is going to affect their health, and how it's going to really be useful for the feel-good factor for bringing some good things in their life. So that is something that is important, but rain obviously affecting yoga functions at various places, but because it's not just about Srinagar. Different district headquarters of Kashmir had plans, the government had made elaborate arrangements, but because of this very heavy rain, it has in many ways definitely affected what could have happened. But still, the biggest function on the banks of Dal Lake, and we are waiting and watching how it's going to unfold, whether it will continue to be an open space, open air yoga session, or whether the venue, or at least there could be some shelter or something, because around 7,000 participants are there. There are young children also, so all these things will factor in when they decide about things. But yes, rain affecting the yoga function, but still we are waiting Any moment from now, we'll get some news from the SKICC as to what is being planned there, whether it will go ahead as it has been planned, or there are some changes as far as the venue, or probably they'll go into some sheltered place. So that's the latest that I can give you. Back to you.
All right. Mir getting us those details from Srinagar, and Sunil G. Bhatt is joining us right now from Jammu on your screen. Also pictures of yoga being, in fact, Yoga Day, rather International Yoga Day being celebrated in different parts of the country where there's just so many people performing yoga. This also includes ministers of the central government. We also saw pictures, in fact, of MP Manoj Tiwari a while ago. Minister Kiren Rijiju Mo will be coming in, the Prime Minister himself, performing yoga from Dal Lake today. Sunil G. Bhatt in Jammu. Sunil, a very good morning to you. What do you see around you? Tell us a little about the mood there as far as International Yoga Day is concerned, given that the Prime Minister is just in the vicinity in Srinagar city today performing yoga.
Well, good morning, Sneha. Right now I'm standing at India-Pakistan international border in Jammu's Araspura sector, and here BSF Jawans and BSF officials are performing yoga on the occasion of International Yoga Day. Behind me you can see that large number of BSF personnel are performing yoga. They are also participating in this grand festival. And since 2015, International Yoga Day is being celebrated across the length and breadth of the world. And remember, it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who came up with this idea, and after that it was adopted by the United Nations. And since then, since 2015, this day is June 21 is celebrated as International Yoga Day. And as far as India-Pakistan international border is concerned, Sneha, as we all know, our BSF personnel work in some of the most difficult conditions under adverse circumstances, and it's important that their well-being is also taken care of. And that is why BSF says that every day, they organize sessions of yoga for BSF Jawans. But since today being the International Yoga Day, we can see large number of BSF personnel participating in this festival in International Yoga Day. And these BSF Jawans protect our frontiers, they guard our frontiers, and it's because of them that the nation is able to, sleep in peace, nation is able to celebrate festivals. So BSF Jawans play an important role as far as protecting nation's territorial integrity is concerned. And as we all know that Pakistan time and again resorts to unprovoked sometimes firing. It also aids infiltration. So BSF Jawans monitor here, they guard our frontiers 24/7 round the clock, and they work under very difficult circumstances. And that is why it's important for them to remain stress-free, anxiety-free, because their job is like that. Sometimes they work under stress, they work under anxiety. So it's important that their mental well-being, their physical well-being is taken care of. And that is why BSF, every day organizes sessions like these. But today being International Yoga Day, we see large number of BSF personnel, showing great enthusiasm as far as yoga is concerned. Sneha, back to you.
All right, Sunil, be with us. I'm just going to come back to you. Manisha, Sunil there making an important point about the fact that these are BSF Jawans. It's a high-stress job. Just like the BSF Jawans, a lot of people, in fact, who are in extremely high-stress jobs. And I think when it comes to yoga and dealing with stress, I think this should be an integral part of all our lives, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. Because besides the yoga asanas, there is also mindfulness that happens when you're on the mat. So yoga, you cannot really do yoga without focusing on your breath. So there is a connection of mind and body together.
Right.
And also, there are certain bit of meditation practices that you can do to get calm into your life. When you have high stressful jobs, you also have PTSD. So it's very important that you start taking care of your mind as well as body. Absolutely. So yoga can help you with both.